Hello, everybody. I'm live. Yes, I'm live. And I got a new mug. I have my Maui mug. Yes. Anyways, I like this mug. Actually, I really like this mug. I love the handle on it too. It's like the shape of it. It's his hook, you know, that he carries, that he had to go down to the crab and get. I love this. I love this, right? Moana. There you go. And all the seashells, and of course the little pig is on there. See the pig? Good morning. Love it. Love it. And then of course the pig is there too. Oh, get my angles right. I love the pig. I love the rooster too. I mean, who doesn't love the rooster, right? So there we go. Little bit of, I guess, Disney promotion. Uh, love your handle is a necklace back home. Ooh, ooh, that would be cool. Oh, anyways, today I feel with a lot of the energies that are coming in that it's inevitable that what is unfolding before us right now is definitely going to affect every single person on this planet. And if somebody's, I know people have said, well, it's not going to affect me or it's not going to affect us. I'm like, yeah, it's going to affect us. This frequencies that are coming in that are changing are going to change us, but I feel like there's also a change that is going to happen. And it is positive, but it's us going through the chaos, and we have to go through the chaos. Even with, I mean, I think gas just went up to $1.87 a liter here in Calgary at some places, which is oh ridiculous. But I it's getting people to think differently, really, and think what they are doing with not only their finances, but their energy. How are they portraying their energies? How are they walking forward? This is also going to be where, food rations are going to be coming in. And not saying there's not going to be any food, but there's going to be rations coming in. There's going to be, even with, gas and oil. UAE just left the, you know, OPEC. And to me, that's just a bunch of gangsters getting together to control and regulate everything in the world. And I feel like that regulation is where people are breaking away. They don't want to be regulated anymore, you know? They don't want to be told anymore. And this is why you have the disruption that is coming in and the splits that are coming in. This is where people are like, I don't need to go to a building to worship God or be with God. Not s I love going into churches, I do. Some of them are so beautiful, and you can feel the energies and the prayers of those who've been before you, right? I love old prayer books, and just finding them in the energy of the prayers that, somebody held this and was, feeling that energy and that faithfulness and that sincerity that has gone with it. And I feel there is also where some part of the younger generation where that are coming in and they're wanting to go on holidays. It's like we're going. I can't remember what they call it, but they're going on holidays without their phones and devices and everything. We're just going to we're going. What did they? I was watching. It's just going to be difficult. I'm just like, oh my god, that was just our trip. We all piled into the old Chrysler, 6 kids, mom and dad. I sat in the front, so I didn't throw up. Um, Everybody else in the back, crazy. And we went off. Off we went, you know? And and just allowed we trusted, and we had a map. Now, I don't know how many people can actually read a map. I mean, back in the day when we used to have the yellow and white pages, there used to be the map of the city, and you could go and you could look up different areas and look up the street and know where it was, and then just went with that, on going to, say, if you're going to a new friend's house, right, and they just moved and you don't know the area, pull out the book and look it up, right? The map's going to show you. That type of energy, I feel, is definitely there. It doesn't mean that we're going back. It means there is a definitely, through all of the craziness. I mean, through all the craziness of even young people not having children or just having one child, um, is is slowly changing. Like, that energy and that frequencies are changing. We have a lot of younger couples that are getting married at 18 and 19. And I know some people think, oh, that's ridiculous and everything else. But their perspective, their way of thinking is changing. There's this young conservative group that's coming in. So there are frequencies and changes that are coming in that are taking a look at the world in a different place. We have the Amish community that, in Pennsylvania, I believe it is, that is growing hemp. And it's the first time in over 80 years that they have legalized and growing hemp. Now they classified hemp as being a narcotic, right? And this is not this is the male plant, not the female plant, right? So the male plant has no THC. It actually, I mean, the seed pods that come out of it, you can make diesel, you can make, regular petrol. It's great for cooking oil. It is also, I mean, it's healing. It's really, you make sobs and everything out of it. You can make rope, you can make clothes. The nutrients from the hemp plant is actually very good for the soil. That's another reason why a lot of the Amish are doing it, because they're using it as a rotation crop. And now that it's legal, just like corn, that they're also realizing that that they are making diesel out of it. And those some of the not all Amish use a horse and to do their fields. Some of them do have diesel, uh, just for the farming and stuff. So they've been using that diesel in their tractors, and it runs cleaner and it runs better. These little things that are happening are just like little, like little sparks that are coming out and coming in. And everybody's wanting a grandeur thing. They're worried about, what's happening in, the Middle East and everything in the Middle East. I just watched one of my, a YouTuber, and finally got a YouTube out from him. He's in Russia. And I watch him and his family. They just had another little baby, and whatever they put out. I mean, he started doing YouTube just to learn English, and he watched a lot of old American movies and stuff. But he did a road trip and showing, the roads and stuff in Russia, and there's the paid roads and the unpaid roads. So the unpaid roads, which go through many different little villages and stuff like that, are really atrocious because they're unpaid. And then you got the paid ones where you have to pay a toll. But he was going to Moscow, which was about 1,500 kilometers away from where he lives, and visiting a friend and doing some whatever he has to do in Moscow. But this is where I love watching those type of shows, because it's showing another perspective of the world, and showing where, as he's driving along, other people, they're living their life, they're doing their thing. They're as he went through the older towns, it's mainly older people, elderly people that live there, because all the young ones have moved and gone to the city. And he's even showing that, the government there is trying to force people to go to the cities, making it where living out in the country, they've made it in some places illegal to have livestock and stuff. It's to force people to move into these places. But you do have some that are saying, hell no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm fighting. I'm not going to live that lifestyle. So there's a lot even in Russia that are people that are moving out of the city. They don't want to live there. They want the farmland. They want the country life. And yeah, it's not an easy way of living, right? These are some of the subtle changes that are coming in. It's like people you might not have the whole picture, you might not have everything written down, but it's going forth and doing it because know. You just know this is the direction that we need to go into. Full moon Scorpio is not going to be easy. It's not. It's a very intense energy. And whether you are a sun, moon, or rising with Scorpio, yeah, there's going to be a huge effect on you, definitely. Um, and feeling it more intensely. And it's all depending what's in those signs for you and what degrees as well. And I feel like this is an awakening moon. This is a moon that brings up truth. This is a moon that doesn't fuck around. Like Scorpios, we're one of the most hated signs, really. When people ask, when you get into a group and people ask you, what's your sign? And I'm going, I'm a Scorpio. And they're like, oh, you get that. Oh, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a Scorpio. You end up sort of like owning it because Scorpios kind of like to put people on edge, anyways. Um, it's just one of those things. It's like, I saw a meme where already it's like the bridge is blowing up, and then the Scorpios just, walking away and saying, "Well, fuck that. I could find another way around anyways." I just needed an excuse to blow it up. The petrol was already there. And that's very much Scorpio. We will burn the bridge. Like we will say, "Fuck it. We'll find another way." We don't want we're not Taurus. Taurus will just like, "Oh no, we'll keep the bridge. We'll try and make amends." Scorpio's like, "Oh, I'm not making any fucking amends." And this is where I feel like some of the energies is that people are getting this backbone of saying, "No, I'm not doing it this way anymore. I'm not living this type of life anymore. I'm taking things into my own hands." Now, as you do that, yes, there is going to be roadblocks and there's going to be craziness that is going to unfold in all of this. But when you know, right? And it's trusting that knowingness, trusting that energy of of the phoenix rising, of things coming up, right? And will we have gas shortages? Probably, probably because we got a mismanagement of we're I mean, Canada alone is $65 million in debt. Billion dollars, not million, billion. Our prime minister said that he paid off 11 billion. I'm like, well, isn't that the money you sent to Ukraine? I mean, when he hit office, it was like 32 billion. Now it's 65. I don't know. Does the 11 really count? But that's the thing is that we have a mismanagement of people that are in charge. But I feel like that energy will be fading away, will be going away. It's not going to go away overnight, but there is a renewal that's coming in where people aren't going to, oh, I froze on YouTube. Sorry about that. I froze with I think my head up there like that. Yes. See my nose hair. This is what's unfolding for people. And it is where I feel like there's a lot's going to be exposing everything. I had so many people send me s- so much information on the shooting of or the attempted assassination of of the president of the United States. I found it quite interesting because the information came out almost instantaneously. And it's like, I don't know if you remember, go back to COVID. Um, there was a basketball game happening, and it was just right in the middle of the game. The referee called timeout and said, "Game ended." And everybody's like, "Oh, what?" So everything, it was like all of a sudden pandemic hit, game over. And then all of these banners and all of this information and all of these, 6 feet apart, like we're already printed and ready to be handed out. That's what I feel is like this has already been pre-planned and everything's been written and ready to be handed out. We know that. That's part of the awakening. That's part of seeing what the fuck's going on, right? And this is, as I say, it's not gentle, it's not soft, it's relentlessly, and after everything that we've just moved through, the Uranus shifting into Gemini. So I'm going back to the, with that happening is what I knew something crazy would happen. As soon as Uranus goes into a new sign, fully and completely, there is some sort of activation. And with that, it hit because Trump's a Gemini and it hit all his stuff. As soon as boom. And it's, with your Uranus going in Gemini, God bless my little Geminis out there. If you have a lot of energy in Gemini, or if you have a lot of energy in the third house, there's going to be huge activations for you over the next 8 years. There's going to be a lot of changes, subtle changes, and even if this is like, for me, Gemini is my 12th house. So in comes Uranus. Let's bring up some karmic shit. Let's bring up some other truth. Let's bring, this is and it's very spiritual as well. So a lot coming up to the surface. I have clients that it's hitting their MC. It's hitting, so it's like activation and change. Activation and change. Can't do predictions with it because Uranus doesn't, it's very difficult. I mean, what you think it's going to go one way, boom, it's going to go the other way. And as it hit there, and it's within moments of Uranus going into Gemini, yeah, it hit. There was something going on. Now, whether it was a setup or not a setup, you look at, yeah, that's Aries. Yeah, there's a lot of sparks and everything coming in with financials, right? You got to look at being a planned attack or whatever. Of course, it was planned in some layers, some energies and stuff. The other part too is that people have to realize that there has been, there's a name for it, but anyways, um, interference with brain waves and interference with how people are thinking and how people are downloading information since the 60s and 70s, when a lot more of microwaves and other frequency waves were coming in that were actually mind controlling people. So if you notice that there's been a lot of people coming in that have, um, channeling aliens and channeling different types of entities and that, especially since the 80s and going into the 90s. And we look at some of the new ones that have, like Bashard is a real big deal. Whenever he's at any expo, there are lineups for people to see Bashard. Lineups. Um, his speaking engagements sell out, like, almost like that. Um, I don't align with his energy. I find him kind of very reptilian looking. What really, I found interesting was when the pandemic came in and he promoted the shot. And I thought, "Okay, there's something there." And so did, uh, oh, what is it? Abraham Hicks, promoted it as well. And I thought, "That is interesting." So you know that there's some kind of other interference that is coming in with whatever they're channeling or however they're channeling, right? So that's why I go back to the astrology and look at it, because it's like it's their wake up calls. There's information there, and it doesn't lie, right? Yes, you do have astrologers that'll misinterpret things, that'll take things to a very manipulative way, but then exposure comes in. Like they get exposed because I mean, if especially if they're saying, um, things are going to be okay, everything's going to be fine, the market's going to be blah 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 blah, and they say all this, and then it's totally opposite. You're just like, okay, you're full of bullshit, right? So This is where I feel, with all of this types of activations that are happening, that even within the spiritual realm, and that more of this is going to be exposed, more things of people either being manipulated through different airways and channels and stuff. And you'll be able to, I mean, the other thing, people are just searching so much for shit, right? But this Scorpio moon, I mean, plus we have 2 full moons this month, right? There's going to be a lot of exposure that's going to unfold for people. And a lot of this exposure that's coming in is where the truth will be seen. And Saturn and Neptune is resetting the reality itself. And all the planets are direct until Pluto will be going retrograde starting next week. And it goes retrograde for about 6 months. So we're about to hit a peak. And this is the moment where life asks, do you actually have courage to be who you say you are and step forward in it? Because Mars, Aries, squaring over Jupiter and Cancer, that's real, And if you have, Jupiter's been in, I'm a Cancer moon, Cancer rising, so Jupiter's been there. Been doing a lot of stuff to do with feeling, family, support. It's my first house. This is about how you're showing up. How are you being? And with that square, there's something that's cracking open. And it's the feeling of, I want more, but do I have enough in me? So the energy, the money, the safety, the support, and the confidence. This is coming forward and saying, yeah, you do. You do. You're not seeing it clearly, but see, the trap right now is that people are gonna get stuck in saying that they don't have enough, they still have to work on something, they still have to get something. This is this is where it's like, everything, like the divine, the energies of the, of I'm gonna say of the true higher ups are saying, no, you might not feel it, you just gotta trust, have faith and surrender. There's bullshit all around us, people want to say in their narrative, and yes, but will that exposure change anything? Feels like people don't care, because it's definitely changing. That's where this energy is going. It's just there, just might feel like a cloud, or you can't see it all. That's Uranus, definitely in Gemini. You're not going to see it all, but the change is definitely unfolding. Is it going to be messy? Fuck yeah. I mean, is there going to be war? Yes. The war is not going away. The war is definitely there. Shortage of food definitely coming in. But how that is also bringing in a new perspective for people. I don't, I'm gonna, okay, this is, I don't mean this in a way, but it's not a bad thing with all of this, is that, you know, this is an awakening thing. And sometimes to be or have that awakening, you got to throw in chaos and craziness. But we have gotten to a point in our world that nothing is going to awaken unless there's an explosion in front of your fucking face. You're not going to do anything. People are very lackadaisical. That's my new word. Lackadaisical. So they just sort of like, oh yeah, whatever. It's just going to be what it is. I mean, I go down my street and I see people buying these $1 million homes. God bless them. Driving Lexus, driving Mercedes Benz with new babies, and stuff. These are quite younger couples, thinking that they're going to live their grandpa or great grandpa's dream of home ownership and things like that. I'm just like, holy shit. See, a lot of that's, it's like, right. It's going to crumble. A realization is going to say there. The job that they thought they had is not going to be there. This is where, even within the industry of oil and gas, with new technology coming up, you got to upgrade. You got to learn the new trade, right? And understand that. And then that's where the hardship has to come in order to awaken, in order for them to see the truth of what it is that they need to see. And not everybody wants to do that. So the resetting of your life. And, as the moon, it leaves Libra today and it goes into Scorpio, that's that's where our grace period was in Libra. And so now let's make it, pretty. Let's keep the peace energy, right? But that's over. You just enter Scorpio energy. We're not leaving the peace. We're not keeping we're telling the truth. We're not trying to sugarcoat bullshit. Right? It's like I saw a meme I saw a meme where it says socialism and democratic socialism, and the meme was here's socialism, a pile of shit. Democrat socialism. Oh, look it, we have sprinkles on it. Same shit, same smell, but only we put sprinkles on it. Scorpio's like, take the fucking sprinkles off. It's just shit, right? That's where it is. That's where it is. It's showing you what the truth is, right? We could have bought a brand new home at the top of our budget and doesn't mean you do that. Well, yeah, doesn't. And that's, I know I've met people who are very, very, very well off and drive, he what did he a Mercury taupe no, a Taurus? What kind of car? Anyways, it was a really old car. And he just kept it up. He fixed it and everything, and he goes, "Yeah, I could drive a Mercedes Benz. I could drive a BMW." But he goes, I know how to fix my car. I could fix it when I need to." And he bought his house in um he bought his house back in the 80s. And it's his house is worth over, I'd say, 20-30 million dollars today, maybe more. um, Especially where he lives, and it's one of the original houses here in Calgary. And but he says, "Why am I gonna sell my house?" He's put some greenhouses out there on he's got a really nice little corner lot, but he's got his garden going. He's a professor, he's a tenured professor at the university. I mean, he's worked hard to get to where he is. But he goes, "Why am I" he goes, "I could sell it and move and get something bigger, better, whatever, but why?" Right? And he's been living there his house is paid off now. Now he just pays his taxes, which is like a mortgage, he says. But he goes, "I just why?" As you say, "Why live at the top of my budget? Why do I have to do that?" So this is where, resetting your life from the root, your values, your boundaries, your energy, your self-worth. No more pretending something fits when it doesn't. No more waiting for crumbs and calling it a meal. And no more over planning for worth to people who want, you know, the discount version of you. And that's the whole thing. It's what is your worth? And yeah, it might feel intense because Pluto is involved, because Mercury is hitting Chiron. Old wounds are talking loud. The voice, maybe I don't have it anymore. Maybe what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? I think I'm overly enough. And that's not true. That's memory, right? So we got to make it simple. If it feels confusing, it's not for you. If it drains you, it's not aligned. If you chase it, it's not your value. Scorpio doesn't negotiate with misalignment. It cuts it. It burns the bridge. It says, "Fuck it. That's not doing us any good." This is a moment to ask, what door am I done walking through? And what door actually feels like me? And then move, not perfectly, not safely, but honestly. Just do it. And because doing the same thing, that's the only way you stay stuck in it. And I see a lot of especially in the spiritual community, and you go to a lot of these um markets and stuff, and it's the same people there all the time. On average, it's usually the same people there all the time in that same sort of loop. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's too musky. right? I am going to a market and it's up in Vermilion, and it's at the beginning of June. And um, Charlene, who's usually on here, is taking me. She's coming in from Moose Jaw to drive me to there, right? And it's coming. It's just doing what I feel is right. It's a 2-day one. It's a nice energy market that Vicky does. And I think it's because Vicky's just down to earth, basic. She's a Leo. She'll put up bullshit. So, unless her husband's a Gemini, I love him. But that's where the energy is, right? It's coming in, right? I keep getting it back. People in North America upgrade and keep a mortgage forever. No thanks. I keep getting a backstabbing pain in my back. I'm hoping the Scorpio full moon gives me the clarity on what the fuck it is. Yeah, letting it go. Just letting it go. And I just feel this of just stepping into it. Yeah. Nobody's life is perfect. Nobody, there's everybody has their bullshit that they have to go through and do. And but I feel like it's like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And I just have to allow it. It's not that I don't feel like what I do is a struggle. I don't feel like what I do is, I feel it's very much aligned to me, and doing that alignment. Doing full moon meditations, which I will have tomorrow evening. If you care to join me, just let me know. It's a $25 exchange. If you want to join me tomorrow evening, or if you want a full moon meditation, like I love, or not full moon reading, which is based on your natal chart. They're $50, or you can do a subscription. Those are things that are aligned. Those are things I love doing, right? They're a part of me. I've done them for years. I mean, you can go back. Hey, you can go back. There's history. I got history now. You know, I got history on doing these things, and it's not like I came out of the blue of doing this. I was born in the 60s. I'm not I'm not a newbie around the block, and coming in and doing this shit, right? So it's coming in with truth, coming in with clarity with what I do. I love it. And yeah, change is there. Definitely. Definitely there's AI. Today Musk is testifying against OpenAI, which is interesting. I mean, he's telling the truth about it. I mean, he knows about it. He's helped develop it, so he knows the inside and he knows the truth about it and how it needs to be used wisely. And I don't feel I live anything right now. Who knows where I'll be or what I'll be doing. Yeah. Um, it's allowing, it's stepping forward. 8 years from now, I'll be 70. I'll be 70. Who knows where I'll be? I might be in an old folks home. I might be who knows where I'll be in 8 years. But it's just allowing and trusting in the divine, right? And going into the directions that yeah, going into. The cards I pulled today were the 7 of Swords I pulled this morning, and Strength card. And this is the 7 of Swords is usually, like he's carrying, 5 swords and he's running away. And this usually kind of like there's tents in the background, 2 swords are pointed down. And this is stop lying to yourself of what's really going on, and stop wasting your energy where it doesn't belong. If you're wasting your energy on something that just is draining you, it's not worth it. Your power is real, but it needs direction. And this full moon doesn't want your perfection. It wants your truth. Your willingness to say this is who I am now, and I'm not shrinking back. And if you're feeling it, you are right on time. This is a shift. This is a shift. We're moving in, we're recreating something new and something beautiful, right? And that's where we have to go forth. Yeah, they need to get a lockdown on AI. Yeah, they need to understand, or you need to understand how to utilize it. Train your AI, I mean. And training it, you can easily train your AI and utilize it the way that you need to utilize it. And that's, I know a lot of AI developers that have developed some really crazy things. Leo King did. He's utilized AI in a way that nobody else has utilized it before, as of yet, and he's been doing some really crazy shit with it. Um, and Chris Witacki, he's doing it as well. And there's a few others that are really really good spiritual people that are bringing in the groundedness with it, and bringing in that groundedness, right? And yeah, that's that's where we're at. Gosh. Anyways, I'm going to wish you guys a beautiful day. It's beautiful here in Calgary today. I think it's going up to 20 plus degrees in the area. And I'm going to take my little puppers out for her walk. She's walking around kind of looking at me. And have a blessed one, everybody. And may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. And all you say and all you do and all you be. If you want to work with me, get a hold of me. Just DM me. I don't have a website. I Websites and me just don't work. And so at this time, I don't have a website. You just contact me directly, honey. That's all you have to do. It works. It works. And yeah, have a blessed one. And we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.